Hi guys, before I get started, if you're with me again, I want to say thank you. I'm eternally grateful for your support for me and for my channel. Secondly, I have this up on two platforms right now, so it's either on YouTube or it's on iTunes. My name is Mhino. If you watched the last episode, you might know that already. You can find me on Instagram at Mhino Productions, on Twitter at Mhino Production without the S, or you can just shoot me an email at mark@mhinoproductions.com. That stuff is going to be in the show notes and the video description. Feel free to reach out to me. Know that I'm going to read everything that you guys send me. Let's get the show started for today. First things first, J.Cole is releasing a new album. It's called For Your Eyes Only. It's going to be released December 9th, which is really, really awesome. The last time that J. Cole released an album was in 2014. It was called Forest Hill Drive. This marks the 2-year anniversary of a release for a project that he's working on. But the news is not around the album itself. So J. Cole recently released a documentary on Tidal called Eyes, and it's essentially the making of For Your Eyes Only, which is pretty awesome. The big news, though, is that within the documentary, there's two mini music videos that were also released with it. The first song, he was on a pickup truck, and it seemed like he was dissing a lot of new age rappers. The second song, I believe it was called False Prophet, or at least that's what they're saying on the internet, was apparently a poke at Kanye West. If you haven't had the chance to see the documentary, I'm going to put the articles with the documentary link in the description so you can watch it how it's meant to be watched in its entirety. But I want to know what you think about that. After you finish watching the video, come back here and let me know, do you think that he's taking a stab at Kanye during the second song? Next up, let's talk Lady Gaga. This is for all of you monsters out there. So Lady Gaga is going to be performing at the Super Bowl this upcoming year, and she wanted to celebrate in a big way. So she's launching a contest called Fanifesto, if I'm not mistaken, where you can be Lady Gaga's guest of honor. You have a chance to sit next to her on stage as she's performing. So if this is something that interests you, visit the show notes or the description in the video. And I'm actually going to have all those links there so you can go and sign up for the contest. Next up, Taylor Swift. If you've listened to the radio in sometime within the last 5 years, there's a good chance you heard a Taylor Swift song. Now there's a way for you to hear even more of Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift is getting a new channel from DirecTV Now. The channel is being sponsored by AT&T. It's pretty interesting, but I can see the collaboration there. In this channel, you'll be able to see her music videos, you'll be able to see concerts. She said she's going to have backstage footage and a ton of other stuff. But that brings up an interesting point. So this might be a trend for a future artist. If this goes exceedingly well, we might see other artists follow along this platform and get their own channels. If you could choose an artist to have their own channel, who would you choose? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. If you could pick an artist to have a channel, who would you pick? In these episodes, I always want to cover a piece of offbeat news. So right before the Weeknd released Starboy, he got a haircut. But the story is that he got a haircut. He did an interview on Beats One, and he said, you know what, it just wasn't a part of the vision anymore. It's just not for me. I needed a change. The interesting piece of news here, though, is that the hair is actually being locked up. It's locked up in his manager's safe. On one end, I get it. This is a part of your image. On the other end, if you're making a change, maybe it's time to put the past behind you. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. And of course, you can always shoot me an email. This show is a prompt for discussion. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to be able to talk with you. I want for you guys to be able to talk with each other on some of these hot issues that are happening in music news. And that's really it for the show, guys. But before I end the show, a couple of things. One, thank you for listening. Again, I know I said that earlier, but it really means a lot. Your support means a lot to me. Two, if you want to continue to see my videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you're listening to this on podcast, please subscribe to my podcast. I would really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the topics that I covered today or your opinion on the show, because I also want to hear that. And lastly, if you can, leave me a review or leave me a like on this video or the podcast if you're listening to it on podcast. Guys, thank you so much for sticking with me, and I will catch you next time on Music News Today.